Welcome to this tutorial presented by oraclecoach.com. This is Claire Rajan, and in this video segment I'll demonstrate how to write if statements in a PL SQL block. If statements are conditional statements that allow you to take actions based on a condition. I have SQL Star Plus open and I'm connected as the user HR. Before I begin to write any programs, let me show you some data in the employees table for the employee whose first name is Nina. I'll be referencing this particular select statement in my programs multiple times, and therefore I wanted you to see the data of this particular employee's salary, which is 18,000. So at this time we are made aware that the salary of the employee called Nina is 18,000. Now I'm going to issue a set server out command so that when I write my programs and use a DBMS output line statements in them, the output is displayed on the screen. I'm now going to edit a file. I'm going to call it as C, and within the editor I'm going to write a program that will use a simple if statement. So this program has a declaration section where I've declared a numeric variable called vSalary that's of number type, a 10,2. The body of the program has a select statement where I'm retrieving the salary into the memory variable for the employee whose first name was Nina. This is followed by a check, and I'm referencing the memory variable. Now it's important that when you write the if condition, you always reference a memory variable and not the column name. So if I had written salary instead of vSalary in this if statement, I would have got an error. The condition says if vSalary greater than 15,000, then a DBMS output line earns more than Tom. At this time we are aware of the fact that Nina's salary is 18,000. 18,000 being greater than 15,000 makes this condition true. So this display statement should display earns more than Tom. So here I have the output displaying the string earns more than Tom. Let me edit the program and change the value that's used in the condition. I'm changing it to if vSalary greater than 20,000 then earns more than Tom. Now as far as this condition goes, because Nina's salary is 18,000, the condition will be false. However, because a simple if takes care of only what needs to be done when a condition is true, when I run the program in this way, it should not display anything on the screen. Here I have the output saying the procedure successfully completed. However, there's nothing being displayed on the screen. I'm now going to modify the program so that I can use an else construct in the if statement. Now if you recall, an if-else construct is used when you have an action to take when the condition is true as well as when the condition is false. Okay, so let me edit the file. I have the declaration to be the same as well as the select statement will be the same. Let me change this value back to 15,000 and then include an else. So I have the if statement as if vSalary greater than 15,000 displayed earns more than Tom, else display earns less than Tom. Notice I have not written anything after the word else. It's understood that the else will take care of this condition being false. So recalling Nina's salary, which was 18,000, 18,000 is greater than 15,000. So when I run this program, it should show me the string earns more than Tom. Here I have earns more than Tom being displayed on the screen. Let me clear my screen and edit the file one more time. And instead of 15,000, I'm going to change this to 20,000. Earlier, when I had shown you the same program with an if statement and used 20,000, nothing was being displayed on the screen. That's because I had written a simple if and there was no else part to it. But because of the if-else construct, we have an action to take when the condition is false, which would be true because Nina's salary is less than 20,000. When I run the program, it should show me the string earns less than Tom. Here we have the string earns less than Tom. So I've shown you the first two types of if statements. We'll now take a look at the third type of if statement, which is your if-else statement. Now before I do that, I'd like you to have a look at some data in the employees table. So I've written the query, select the first name, comma, salary from employees where department ID equal to 90. This is the department that Nina belongs to. There are 3 employees, Stephen, Nina and Lex, and their salary values are being displayed. Notice that Nina's salary is in between Stephen's and Lex's salary. It's less than Stephen's, but it's greater than Lex's. Now keeping that in mind, I'm going to go back to my file. I'm going to change this program to make use of an else if construct. Here I have my first check where I'm going to say if V salary greater than 24,000 earns more than Stephen. Now instead of an else, I'm going to change this to an else if, write another condition saying if it is greater than 17,000 then earns more than Lex. And I'm going to write an else dbms output line lowest salary in the department. Now let's look at how the program is going to behave. The salary of Nina is 18,000. 18,000 is less than 20,000, so this condition will be false. Moves on to the next check. 18,000 is greater than 17,000. This particular condition is true. So when I run the program, it should show me the string earns more than Lex. Okay, so here we have earns more than Lex. Now let me take you back to the file. I forgot to mention one thing about the if statement, or rather the if-else if statement. When one of the conditions is satisfied, which was in this case it was this condition that was satisfied, the action that was done was earns more than Lex. Now what would happen is when one of the conditions are met and the action is taken, Oracle will move out of the entire if construct, which would mean it will not process the if statement any further. It will come out of the if, which was this particular statement. In our case, it's simply the end of the program. So what would happen is it will end the PL SQL block and it would be completed. So what I'm trying to say is then that when one of the actions are met, it's going to come out of the entire if construct. Now let me come out of this file and let me update some of the data in the table. I'm going to update the employees table and change Nina's salary from 18,000 to a value that is less than Lex's salary. So it tells me one row updated. If I take a look at the salary of the employee Nina, it should now show me 15,000, which would mean if I run the program again, the condition where Nina's salary is greater than 17,000 will not be met. That would mean all the conditions will not be met. So the only thing that Oracle will have to do is take care of the program or the if statement using the else part, which would indicate that it was the lowest salary in the department. Let me edit the file one more time just to show you that the else is optional. I'm going to remove the entire else part of it. So I have just two checks. I have if V salary greater than 24,000, else if V salary greater than 17,000, end if. Running my program, I should not see anything on the screen. The reason being, the two conditions that I wrote were not met. However, I didn't define what had to be done when all of them were not met, and therefore nothing is displayed on the screen. In this tutorial, I showed you how to write the if statement in a PL SQL block. I hope you find this tutorial useful. For other videos, tutorials, and articles, you can take a look at the oraclecoach.com website. Thank you for your time, and thank you for listening.